TJ, Alan Shipe is not the smartest of the bunch here, so.
And I just hit record as soon.
Okay, did everybody just? Okay, I'm confused now. I thought Dustin was the dumbass.
Okay, and I just hit record, like, as soon as you said that I was a dumbass, so thank you, Dustin. But anyway, we are live for episode 13 of the Untitled Roundtable.
Anybody else tried breastfeeding yet?
Okay, anyway, well, since Steven wanted to belt out that random statement...
Well, I figured I'd go ahead and just break the,
Well, you can start with the introductions, then, of the show.
You can find me at One with the Mucus.
Okay. Anyway.
Oh, it's my turn?
Yes, it's your turn.
You guys can follow me on Twitter at JuneScreamsLove.
And I'm Alan. You can find me on Twitter at AlanSXE.
It's very sexy shapester.
Oh my god.
And I'm Dustin. You can find me at Dustin Struck. After tonight, you're probably not going to want to follow me anyway. Alright.
Alright.
Ask him how to spell it first.
The Batman symbol.
And, ladies and gentlemen, we have a huge guest tonight.
Alan!
No.
No.
Anyone want to introduce our guest?
By huge, you mean like fat, or did you mean? That's why I said Alan.
You're an asshole, Steven. Anyway, joining us tonight, would you like to introduce yourself, sir?
Well, it's my pleasure to be here. My name's TJ, and I think that I hope maybe some of you guys have heard of me.
Everybody over here except Steven has.
We're supposed to fanboy and fangirl over him, like, oh my god!
No, actually, I never ever expect anybody to do that. So,
TJ, you should tell them who you play in TNA.
For those that wouldn't recognize me as just little old TJ, I have recently portrayed the character Manic at TNA Impact Wrestling.
That is fucking awesome.
Really is.
Yeah, unfortunately, TJ, our fan base varies between WWE marks and TNA marks and then indie people. So, unfortunately, not all our followers would know who you are.
No,
which is a shame.
It's better that way. It's totally cool.
Alright, so I guess we jumped the gun. Any of the hosts have anything to start with?
No,
yeah. Okay, I got something to point out. Advertisement.
Oh my god.
Alan, I downloaded the Fight or Flight album.
wait, it's out already?
Yeah, I would just say it kicks ass.
I'll have to go buy that as soon as I get off here off iTunes. Is it on iTunes?
It's like an orgasm on your iPod.
Okay.
It's awesome, dude.
Alright, back to TJ.
We should start this.
Yeah, you'll start with the questions.
You ask your questions first, Alan, while I tweet.
Yeah, I'll get the ones off the favorites from the URT account.
Oh, I'm on alright.
The first one, how did he get the name Manic?
From who?
Who
that
from that dude, DeAndre.
I don't know who that is.
I don't know either.
Nobody knows.
That's for you, TJ. All these questions are for you.
Yeah, all the questions are.
How'd
you get the name?
The inception of the name Manic.
Yeah.
Just nothing too cerebral behind it. Just a name. That's all it is. Just a name. I guess I was thinking about this last night, and this isn't why the name was chosen or anything like that, but I mean, when you think about it, like, every good name is taken. Like, you can't really be anything new anymore. Like, if you try to, like, make a new character, it's just gonna end up being something that's already out there, and then there's so many names that are great for superhero names, but they don't apply to professional wrestling, and then vice versa. So, like, I couldn't be like, Speed Man or something like that. Like, it just would be ridiculous. So, you think about it, and then there's a lot of guys that had, like, one word, surnames, like, they got Rush down in, CMLL, and they had Heat, a few years back in New Japan Pro Wrestling. One of my elders, one of my mentors was Heat. That was Minoru Tanaka. So, just, a one word moniker that, hadn't been scooped yet. Hoping that I'll kind of self-define it. So.
Speaking of superhero names, how does Erwin P. Shipesta sound?
Oh God.
I'm Alan Shipe's #1 fan. I'm the Shipesta.
I guess, TJ, the question would be, if you were a promoter, would you book a guy named Erwin P. Shipesta?
How? Say the last name again.
Shipesta. Shipesta.
Alan's last name with an S-T-A-H at the end. Shipesta.
Yeah. I don't know where it came from.
That sounds an awful lot like a German curse word. I don't know if I can get away with that. So I guess my answer would be that it depends on how wide my reach is from a media standpoint, because I might get in some trouble with that.
I don't take my name.
I don't think.
Well, you're the one that coined the awful nickname anyway, Steven.
Alright, it's your last name, damn it, not mine.
No, it's like you altered my last name.
Well,
alright, guys.
And then his fan base is the Shipestas.
Oh God.
Anyway,
next question. This one is from Smooth Drew. He asks, which is more beneficial in wrestling, cardio or weight training?
We should add, Smooth Drew wants to be a wrestler. That's why he wants to know.
Yeah.
Oh, he's asking because he wants to
yeah.
prepare to be a wrestler.
Yeah.
I'll forget on Mexican.
He's not Mexican.
Whatever.
Well, I think that, if you had to choose between the two, I'd probably say cardiovascular shape is more important. You could accomplish all of your cosmetic goals that way, but like the functionability of our job is, I don't even know if that's a real word, but the way our job works, like so much of it is being able to manipulate your body weight on your own. So because you're moving in all directions and in such a short space. If you see other sports that have a similar type of setup as far as like the field they play on or the boundaries they have, like you look at boxing or short space things like say hockey or like basketball or something like that. So all of that's driven by cardiovascular work. And that's by design just because, the way that we have to function as athletes in our sport is, heavily dependent on, being able to manipulate our own body weight. So I would definitely say you'd want to start with that if you had to choose.
TJ, can I bounce a quote off you really quickly?
Hey, what?
Can I bounce a quote off you really quickly?
Yeah, sure.
I talked to Brandon Gatson a lot. I don't know if you've ever heard of him.
Yeah, Gatson. He and I go way back. When I first started wrestling, I was like 13, and he was already wrestling. He's a couple years older than me, and he was, just a kid too. He was just a teenager. I've known him about as long as I've known anybody in wrestling. Trivia for people, yeah, because he's an old school guy.
He is very old school. I'm the guy that emailed you about wanting to train with Jesse Hernandez a long time ago. That's how I know Gatson. But he bounced this quote off that said, "You can have all the muscle and cardio you want, but you can't measure heart in wrestling. That's what gets you the farthest." Will you agree with that? Yeah, I know. Sorry, I didn't.
No, go ahead.
Clarify. Like, if you don't have the passion in the ring, it doesn't matter how big or buff you are. You're not going to be successful unless you're wanting to be in the ring and in the business. Would you agree with that?
Yeah, what I was going to say actually was that, it's kind of an offshoot of that, mindset that, somebody asked me earlier on my Ask FM account. They asked, if, I had advice for somebody that was going to be in an Ultimate X match. I assume hypothetically, because it's not like those happen every day. Even though I've had 2 in like the last month for some reason. My answer was real short, and it was just that the best wrestler doesn't win, the winner wins. Which is the truth. And in my head, I was just thinking, well, that just applies to that match because of the way the rules are, the winner isn't going to be the guy who's trying to be the best wrestlers. You know, the winner's going to be the one that wins. But in anything you do in life, I mean, it's not even just that match. If it's all of wrestling or just all of any sport, or, I mean, if you want to be a doctor, it's never really about, you know, all the fundamental things, you know, crossing all your T's and all that stuff. You can do everything right, but there has to be that person that puts it all together the right way. And that, you know, that's completely comes down to that X factor of determination and perseverance and concentration and, you know, the will to do that. Some people just are not willing to sit in the pocket and put everything together like that. So, you know, the advice that I gave hypothetically really kind of applies to being successful in anything. I think that what Brandon said is dead on.
Yeah, he's a great guy. I love talking. I did not know you were training with Jesse Hernandez. That just kind of hooked me even more because you're one of my favorite indie guys, and that's not even to suck up or anything. I enjoy your work. But,
oh, thank you. I appreciate that.
I got a few questions that I was after my personal account, and then I guess we'll get the host questions. So I am Fuggy. Yeah, that's his Twitter name. Wanted me to ask you, who did you look up to, and who did you look up to as a wrestler when you were a kid? Who was like your role model?
Well, let's see. I guess, I mean, like anybody else, I looked up to, you know, all the common people. I guess, you know, for my generation, so, you know, watching wrestling ever since I was like a toddler, so I'm growing up in like the Hogan, Piper, Jake the Snake generation. Yeah. So, you know, I really looked up to Roddy Piper and Randy Savage. I think because they were, you know, as influential as all the flagship guys, but they kind of had their own thing going on. Like, they're special, you know, like they didn't have to be flagship guys to be just as influential as the flagship guys. And something about that I just always loved. And now that I'm older, I appreciate it more. As I got older, you know, same thing, usual suspects like Bret Hart, Shawn Michaels. Maybe the most influential match I've ever seen, I got to see it live, was Bret and Shawn at the Iron Man when they did it in Anaheim, which was cool. I got to sit in the 14th row. I was on the floor. I found out years later, a buddy of mine, everybody would know him as Tyson Kidd now. He told me that he was on the floor too, and I didn't obviously know him at the time, but he was sitting like 8 rows away from me or something like that, like some like ridiculous like close proximity. So you know, so those are two guys that I look up to. And then you know, I got really into international wrestling, you know, throughout the mid 90s, just before I became a wrestler in 98. So, you know, I was watching like, you know, New Japan and All Japan and War and Michinoku Pro. So, you know, I got into Ultimo Dragon and Tiger Mask and, you know, different guys. So, Sayama, the original Tiger Mask, and Dynamite Kid were huge influences on me, by virtue of following that, lineage and everything. So.
Alright. Man, that's awesome. Tyson Kidd, huh? Kind of unique. So, he had a second part of his question. I think you already touched on it. But what would be the biggest advice you'd give? Like, what would be the best advice you can give to a guy that wants to be a wrestler? Most of the questions I got, I'm going to let you know right now, are from guys that want to be wrestlers. I don't think they have too much connection of talking to actual wrestlers, so I guess it's kind of a big deal for them.
No, that's great. That's, I mean, I love fielding questions like that from that type of source. So
it just shows they're hungry, right? Which is kind of a good sign.
Well, I like it, and actually, I mean that kind of is the answer I'm going to give. Is that
oh wow.
I mean, really, the most important thing is that you want to be able to ask questions. The best quote for advice. Well, there's a wrestling quote for advice that I learned that I've heard it from a million people, and I'll probably say that later, but. The best quote that I've ever heard is a Wayne Gretzky quote. He said that you miss 100% of the shots that you don't take. Oh, and it's so it's like such a beautiful quote because, I mean, it's not just like a sports thing or like a functional thing where, you know, we think about like, you know, it doesn't just touch on making mistakes and, you know, being an efficient employee somewhere or a professional or anything like that. But it's also just, it defines a generation of people that we are now. Like so many people now, they're afraid to commit to anything. There's no conviction and like we would all rather, and I'm included, I guess, but we would all rather sit and make fun of something on Twitter rather than admit that we don't have it in us to do it. You know, like we're afraid to fail and have to face that, so we'd rather make fun of it like, well, we could have done it, but it doesn't matter. So I love telling people that quote because when you're going to get into something like this, you want to be able to ask questions, every question, not just 90% of the questions or 99% of the questions. You know, ask, you know, 200% of the questions. You know, ask them twice. You know, that's what it takes. Like, just don't leave anything unturned. Like, you have to take every chance you get, and it doesn't matter if you fire away 1,000,000 times because the only ones that count are the ones that go in. You just need as many to go in as you can for you to be successful.
Alright, and that's awesome answer. Thanks, TJ. Here's the last one from the same guy. I'd love him to see how hungry he is to learn, but he's asking if you could, what wrestler do you most want to have a match with that you have not listed yet?
Like a current wrestler?
Yeah. Well, he wasn't really specific, so I guess name one past wrestler you'd like to have a match with and one current. We'll just do both, I guess.
I mean, if there's one guy I think that I'd really like to wrestle now, I might want to go with AJ Styles.
Ooh.
He, especially, you know, before he starts to hit the twilight of his career, you know, he's obviously, you know, really great wrestler, and I've known him for like almost. I mean, he's only got like a couple of years on me as far as his career goes, and I mean, he's much older than me, generally speaking, but we've been around a similar amount of time, and I've known him for over a decade, but we've never ever once touched in the ring, never. So like, he's one guy that I hope someday I finally actually get in and be able to wrestle him. If I could wrestle anybody ever, I would turn back the clock and find a way to be able to wrestle Eddie Guerrero. He's the single most influential person in my life and career combined, like, of anybody. Him and his family have had, like, I can't begin to say how influential they've been on my career. So he would be the guy if I could pick anybody from any time.
Alright. Hey, do you guys have questions really quickly? I actually exited the page on that.
I got a question, but this kind of breaks away from the, let's say, professionalism. Okay, TJ, look at our 4 of our Skype pictures. You see what we look like?
Oh dear God, I know where this is going. Shut the fuck up, Steven.
Out of the 4 of us.
I don't know if I can see it, cause, the way that my screen is just, I think cause it's a group call, I just see like the MySpace logo. It's just like 3 like Nintendo Wii looking people.
Okay, out of the 4 of us, who do you think has the sexiest voice?
Oh my god.
Wow.
I think aesthetically I have to go with the woman, right?
Hey!
Alan, he picked you!
Shut up, he was talking about me.
Jen, you're more mannish than woman, okay? And Alan's more feminine than you are.
I haven't even said anything this whole time. Like,
We have TJ Perkins on a podcast, we're talking about sexy voices.
Oh,
there's something wrong.
I hate
Only
you,
on
Steven.
the Only on the
Anyways, I have a question for TJ.
Okay.
So, what are your views on women's wrestling?
Personally, I've never been all that big a fan of it, not because I'm against it, just like, I mean, it's like, I guess to clarify that answer, it's kind of like, if I were to say, alright, you're gonna get dressed in the morning, like what color shirt are you gonna put on? If you really don't like the color green, you're not gonna pick a green shirt. It's like, it's not because you hate it, it's just you would rather see something else or do something else. So I've never really been that big of a fan of it, but I've watched a ton of it. Just being a professional, obviously, I'm going to watch a lot of it. So I've seen a lot of like Joshi Wrestling and Arson and All Japan Women's and, so I've seen like, a million like Manami Toyota matches and Divas matches, Knockouts matches, just like a lot of stuff. I tend to miss a lot of independent wrestling, for women, but that's not just for women, it's for men too. Like I don't really watch any indie wrestling for, like unless I'm like there that night, I don't see it. So, like I don't watch tapes of it or anything, so.
Which is understandable.
We are getting a ridiculous amount of questions now on our Twitter.
Wow.
I'm actually getting tired of reading them.
Well,
We've been asking questions.
Yeah.
We've been asking all week.
It keeps going off my iPod.
Alright,
We asked for a whole week, and now they want to ask.
Yeah, and my phone.
TJ, I got a question really quickly before I go back to the other questions. What are your views on backyard wrestling?
Actually, I answered one of these questions on my Ask FM earlier today too. Somebody had asked me,
Mike.
I'm sorry.
Was the guy on Ask FM? I don't know if they were anonymous or not. Was his name Michael?
No, it was not like
Okay.
almost all my questions are anonymous, but but anyways, I don't really have I guess I'm sort of indifferent to it. Like I don't have a negative view of backyard wrestling at all. I think it's actually kind of an admirable thing, just because to me it's kind of like seeing kids that go out at halftime and play pickup basketball or play touch football, like during the Super Bowl, something like that. I mean, you see them act like goofballs, but that's because we're wrestling fans, so we know what goofballs look like when they're pretending to wrestle. Like, I think if we were wrestling fans, then what we perceive as goofball backyard wrestlers isn't as goofy as any more so than a fat dude throwing a football and like falling into a rose bush. Like, I think it would be viewed as the same thing. I think they get a bad rap from people that are into wrestling, but that's just because so many of us, I guess, sit on a high horse about wrestling. Personally, I don't think there's anything wrong with it. I would much rather see people engaging in that because they love wrestling than to see people who, round their friends up and like rent out a hall somewhere and try to sell tickets to a really awful show once a month so they could play wrestler when they're not working at like Best Buy or something like that. Because, you know what I'm saying? Like, I think that interferes with the world that, we enjoy as wrestling fans, and for people like me, like the world we live in as professionals, because it's like, if somebody who really loves anything, like if you really love football, then you'll play football with your friends, at the park. You'll go out in the yard and do it. So I don't mind people screwing around and pretending that they're the macho man, like in their yard. Who cares? Like, I'm not going to do it, but I don't care if they do it. I think that, another person that really loves something would, invest their own time and their own money and their own, whatever into it. Like if you learn to box or learn to do jiu-jitsu, you go rent out gym time and take lessons, and you may never intend on taking a fight ever. You might just want to learn because it's fun and you're really into it, but you're investing your time. You're not wasting anybody else's. Like, so people anybody can go to wrestling practice and learn to wrestle if they really love it. But what I have a problem with is that, like, what if like somebody who wanted to play football player got, permission to play for the New England Patriots? Like, you'll never see that. And that guy would get killed. And he would waste so many people's time. You would never see something like that happen. But, people within wrestling, like I think we need to kind of regulate that a little bit more and, be better about that. But that's what I hate to see. So as far as where backyard wrestling lands in that equation, it doesn't really bother me at all.
There's one, I want to add to that though. I mean, I know a few backyard wrestlers that call themselves professional wrestlers.
Dr. Love.
That sounds great.
What does?
Just a backyard wrestler named Dr. Love. That just sounds awesome.
They're talking about me. They're talking about me. I used to backyard I'll minute. I'll take the blood off my hand. At 10 years old, I was backyard wrestling is a guy named Dr. Love, and I'm not backyard
He
wrestling.
looked like a miniature Fred Savage from the Wonder Years as a child.
Okay, here's the thing though. I think I know like where that's going is that but keep in mind, like I was saying, like take yourself out of the shoes of somebody that is, participates in wrestling as a fan or as a wrestler in my case. You take yourself out of those shoes and you look at it like, how is that any different than an armchair quarterback that says, man, they really got to get rid of Aaron Rodgers. He's awful, like, to this game or whatever. And it's like, what would this guy know? Like, you play football once a month with your buddies and you shit on your own team, like, when they lose. Like, what would you know about professional football? They don't, but, like, you can't really look down on that because it's like, of course they don't know. It's kind of like a 5-year-old trying to tell you that dinosaurs are coming back. Like, they don't know what they're talking about. So you just kind of like, okay, well that's fine. You come to expect that from them. What I don't like is when people with that type of bias find their way into like a professional atmosphere. Like sometimes you could see analysts that are like that. Like if any of you guys watch the NBA, like you'll see a guy like say Bill Simmons, like very biased on a million subjects. And it's like, he could adversely affect people's careers because of his bias. And it's like, there's not too many people that get put in that position, thankfully, in most professional sports. But like in wrestling, that line is blurred. Like I was saying, like in lower level, like independents and stuff, you see guys put in certain positions and they're wasting people's time. So, I think that, if people are patient with it, it's like, you don't really have to look down on the guy making weird claims from his backyard. I mean, for God's sakes, he's making the claims from his backyard. Like, what's the big deal? I mean, it's like people like will come at me like on Twitter or something like that, and it's like they'll say something really rude or really negative, but then I think about it, I'm like, this dude has like 300 followers or something like that. Like, who cares? Like it's not that big of a deal.
Yeah, I was just saying. That's a nice view. I didn't think of it that way.
This means we can't talk about Michael anymore.
What do you mean we? I still talk about him.
I know.
He's annoying.
I know.
Well, it doesn't help the fact that he's 30 years old either. But
I'll admit, we have a 30-year-old that says he's a wrestler and he's the best in the world and that he acts like he's on the Raw roster and that Brad Maddox is going to ruin his whole wrestling career and stuff. That's why we had to ask. But
yeah, and then we could talk about I'm just gonna say the Zach Disaster Professional Wrestling School off the trampoline with one fan, the drive-by guy.
No, we're not. Let's go on to the next question. Here's from I'm gonna botch this name. I am Casticio.
You botch every damn thing.
So he is a deaf aspiring wrestler. I did not know that. He's asking TJ, as a deaf aspiring wrestler, do you think it is important to have the ability to hear and speak in the ring?
A death-defying wrestler?
No,
deaf.
he wants to.
Oh, a deaf. I'm
deaf.
sorry, I couldn't make out what you were saying.
I have a stutter. I'm sorry.
No. It's just because cause it's over the phone and everything. So he's deaf and
He wants to be a wrestler, so he's wondering if, I guess he's asking, would him not hearing impact him not being able to be in the ring or something like that?
well, it's kind of a tough question to field just because I'd have to kind of go into the mechanics of the job and like it would take like years to explain that, but initially there could be some trouble and you may not understand what I mean by this, but as professionals in the ring, we have to make reads. And the best way I could say that is kind of like if you're a quarterback running the 2-minute offense and you're running the no huddle, like that's a very good, like comparison to like what our job is, like having to make reads and split second decisions. And a lot of that, with us, you can't do just visually, like you kind of have to be able to listen, but it's not really a communication thing. It's more about making those reads. And it's possible it's a lot easier on the major league level than it is at the lower levels, especially if you have a handicap like that. But it's not, it wouldn't be the most debilitating thing in the world, at all. I mean, I definitely think that it's something that could be worked around. Cause there's no textbook on how you have to make the reads that I'm talking about and the decisions that I'm talking about. I just, functionally, that's just the most fundamental way. So I hope that's an easy enough explanation, but.
Yeah, I was gonna say I don't know what he was looking for because I'm not him, but I'm sure that that came from a guy who's been there, done that. So you're not gonna get much better than that. There's one thing I've always. Oh, sorry, GJ, go ahead.
No, go ahead. I was just gonna reiterate, but I mean, it is what it is.
Oh no!
No, he didn't just say that. Oh my god! Oh, I just got a very bad memory that I was hoping would never come back. He just said it.
Man, seriously, go. Go. Go!
If you didn't get that reference, that was because let's just say somebody named Cameron was on. I don't even want to go into the joke about it. I'm just gonna ignore it.
I remember I know exactly what you're talking about.
That's why I didn't listen to that episode.
I have no clue what's going on.
Yeah, you don't want
Previous guest before I became a host.
Yeah.
Go away!
What the hell was that?
Next to the Dustin Diva Show.
Dustin Diva Show episode.
Oh yeah, okay.
Go!
Hey, who was that?
His little sister?
Here is a question from Real Charlie Avell. At Real Charlie Avell. What type of wrestling is used more in the ring? I have no idea what he's asking with that.
I'm guessing they mean style.
Yeah, what style, I guess, do you see most often being used in the ring, TJ? When you wrestle? Like what?
I guess, by default, everybody wants to, do high flying stuff. I don't know. I think that's usually a safe bet for what a lot of people would like to see, I guess. And it certainly is, the first choice for people. They tend to get filtered into other styles pretty quickly, but that tends to be the initial attempt is to do stuff like that. Which I guess is understandable. I mean, like if we're watching sports or something, you'd rather see dunks on a fast break than like pick and roll and a jump shot, so.
The Oregon Duck offense instead of the Alabama football offense.
Yeah, I mean, you want to see people that are, I guess, you like to see run and gun over fundamentals most of the time, but, which, it comes down to, and this isn't, part of the question, but, this is why, it always comes down to the source. I mean, the presence of the person. I mean, like, whatever you're doing, it doesn't really matter. I mean, it kind of comes down to the person to make it useful and meaningful. So it's really not about styles, but I'd say that's probably the most common is people like to see and they like to try high flying. So.
There's a couple of other quotes I guess I was going to bounce off and see if you agreed. What I was told, it doesn't matter what style you use in the ring, it just depends on the story you're telling in the ring. If you can make a good story with both styles, that's what counts at the end of the day. That the fans go home happy with whatever happened in the ring.
Well, I mean,
I think I botched that completely.
No, I understand what you mean.
Okay.
I mean, it's kind of like what I was saying earlier about like when somebody asked me for the advice on the Ultimate X match. It's like it's just being able to put it all together. 'Cause not everybody's using the same tools, and some of us are, some of us aren't. Some of us have a lot more tools than another guy. Some of us only have one tool. But it's not really about that. It's not about any of that stuff. It's really comes down to how you put it all together. Like, I mean, it's just like with any other competition or art form. It's about scoring and producing. Like, if you're able to put it all together and produce, then it doesn't matter how you're doing it. I mean, there's painters that don't have arms, and they're painting anyway. They don't even have a brush. They don't even have the one and only tool that you're supposed to have to be a painter, but they find a way to paint. So, I mean, as an art and as a sport, the style is really irrelevant because, people ask me too because they think, because I'm a wrestler, so they think I must look down on people that throw fireballs and chairs and stuff like that, or oh, TJ's a wrestler, so he's not into talking or people that talk a lot, but it couldn't be farther from the truth. A, I don't talk a lot because most of the places I work don't let me, which isn't really my fault, but B, I think that all those other styles that are the opposite of me, that's no different than what I'm doing. I use a hammerlock the same way that somebody else uses a barbed wire bat. It's not, you strip all the colors away, we're all doing the same thing. We're all speaking the same language, just different accents.
Well.
Next question, Dustin.
These are from Young and Official.
Oh God.
Cameron.
You brought him up, really.
Oh,
he asked a couple questions, so yeah.
He actually has some good questions.
Yeah, he has some good ones. If you don't know, he's training at the wrestling school WWA4. TJ, have you ever heard of it?
WWA4. Where is that?
I want to say Atlanta.
Yeah, it's in Atlanta.
Yeah. Yeah, I have heard of it. I don't know if I may know some people that have come out of there, I think, but...
Heath Slater came from that. That's the only one I know.
Man, I don't know Heath Slater.
You don't know Heath Slater.
No, I know Heath Slater, but I don't really know.
I know, I'm joking. Yeah, you're getting a lot of these same kind of questions today. What in your opinion makes up a great wrestling match? I feel like we've answered this one a couple of times.
Well, I
know.
That's
hard to say.
Well, it's a question with two different answers, I mean, if you're asking me as a professional, I could never begin to explain, or I could explain it, but I mean, I said, it'll take me years. I'd have to teach everybody who's listening how to wrestle so that they understand what I mean. Cause there is mechanics and fundamentals and, rights and wrongs to what we do. People that say, oh, it's all subjective, it's an art form, so if it, it could be good or not, or bad, no, that's bullshit. There is a right and wrong way, there is good and bad, but unless you do it, you would never understand why. But on the flip side, there's a completely different answer, because as a fan, I mean, what is good or, I shouldn't say good or bad, because that's kind of a rating type of thing. I would I'm not a musician, so I wouldn't say music is good or bad, because who am I to say that? But I'll say what I like or don't like, or what's my favorite. So it's the second answer, the non-professional answer is well, do you like that match or not? If you like it, then great, you answered your own question. So, it doesn't, I couldn't define for him what he likes or dislikes, so.
I missed one from a couple of guys, actually. There's two parts of questions to the other two guys asked before Cameron. This is back, we'll go back to I am can see, oh my gosh. I don't know how to say his name, but, he wants, oh, never mind, that is the same question. Alright, we'll go back to Charlie.
Steven just facepalmed a couple times.
Sorry, Pete. I'm a little nervous, I'm gonna be honest, because I'm a fan of TJ, and I respect the guy a lot. Realist Charlie Abels wants to know, do you think the business is looking bright for people who want to get into wrestling? Do you think there's opportunity for people to want to get into wrestling?
I'm sorry, say that, was there a second part of that?
This is a second one branching off his first question he asked about using styles in the ring. He wants to know, do you see the wrestling business looking bright for people that want to get into business? If they get trained and are good, do you see them having opportunity to get in the ring? I guess is what he's asking. don't really.
Well, I'd probably say now is better than a few years ago. I mean, like.
Do you think CM Punk for that? I was just wondering if you would.
Say that again?
Would you think CM Punk might help with that just because, he kind of. I have this weird theory that, Punk kind of opened the door for average Joes to make it big and stuff if you have the talent instead of being, like, roided. I think that's where he's coming from.
Maybe. That's fake. Like, Punk being an average, Punk's incredibly talented. Like, he's not an average Joe.
No, I know that. Body size, I'm talking about. Body size.
No, but I mean, even that, like, that's fake too. Like, every generation has somebody where they say, oh, this guy's breaking down walls and he's the first of his kind to open doors. Like now it's like Punk and Bryan. But then, like, I mean, how many years ago was it, like, Benoit and Eddie and Jericho? And then before that, it was Shawn Michaels and Bret Hart. And all, like, before then, I mean, like, Kurt Angle's like 5'11" or something. Like, he's like an inch taller than me. So, like, maybe if that. Like, I don't know. Chavo Guerrero's smaller than me.
Yeah.
And then before that, we had Dynamite Kid and Sayama. And then all the way back to, like, the days of, like, Bruno Sammartino, we had guys that were in heavyweight main events that were, like, 5'10", 5'11". They were big and thick, but people were built differently back then. Like that joke on Family Guy when they say, like, you're 1950s fit. And it's just like a tubby dude, like barrel chested with, like, their pants pulled up, like, to their rib cage. Like, people back in the day were built different, but everybody, I mean, there's been people in every generation for the last 50 years doing exactly what Punk and Bryan are doing. They're just filling roles that, they just recycle that role. And the thing is, like, recent fans will think, oh, this is revolutionary, but really, I mean, if you've been watching wrestling long enough, you've seen guys do that 3 or 4 or 5 times over.
Yeah, it's been going around a long time. I was just wondering what your view on that was.
I mean, I definitely think it helps because you need to continually have that to remind people that there are alternate roles in wrestling. Not everybody's been watching even since Jericho was the world champion, which is crazy to think because it seems like it was not that long ago, but, like, people haven't even been watching that long, so you wouldn't know unless they recycle that role.
Yeah.
And you can't fault them for not realizing that like Punk and Bryan are not in any way revolutionary, but you can't fault, like, a new coming fan for not realizing that because they don't know. So it is useful. It's definitely, like, a huge thing for them to be able to do that. I do think aside from that, like, now it's probably better than a few years ago because there are, secondary major league options. That's like, I mean, used to be that, like, you had WCW and the WWF, and then for a while it just seemed like, WWE was the only game in town. But I mean, like, look how much TNA has grown just in the last, like, 3 years. Like, now they're on the road and they're doing, totally different things. They're growing, like, at a much more rapid pace. And then Ring of Honor is making a transition into the mainstream. Like, there's other lower level indies that have, like, kind of built their stock, like Dragon Gate USA and things like that. Japan is reaching out to young American wrestlers more. When I first went to Japan, like, what was it, like 11 years ago, it was, like the holy grail of wrestling. Like, how do you even get there? Now it's like guys could get there on the regular. So, like, for guys coming in now, there's a lot more opportunities than there probably were a few years ago. So I definitely think that the future is looking bright as long as it stays this way.
That's great.
Alright, can I point something out real quick to you, Dustin?
Yeah.
TJ's a fan of Family Guy. Why don't you jump on the damn wagon already?
How do you know he's a fan of Family Guy?
Because he quoted Family
Guy. He just made
Guy.
a reference to Family Guy.
We got Family Guy nuts, apparently, TJ, so.
I love Family Guy.
I love Family Guy, too.
We all love Family Guy except you, Dustin.
Well, I may be in the minority, but I actually, like, I think I actually put American Dad ahead of Family Guy. So
I don't like you anymore.
See, I'm actually with him on that one though, Steven.
No,
American Dad's better.
Yeah.
I love the first few seasons of Family Guy because the jokes were, like, unintentionally out of left field. Now it's like you know that they're trying for left field.
I hate all of you
Yeah.
now.
It's
But, like,
He just hit
boring
the nail on the head perfectly.
Like American Dad, I feel like they have a different. I guess McFarlane has a different type of creativity with the humor on American Dad. It reminds me more of the first few seasons of Family Guy.
I don't like American Dad. I don't think it's funny at all. I'm being serious. I don't think it's funny at all. I tried watching it, but I just couldn't get into it.
You gotta watch a good episode.
I watched like 7, and I don't want to watch it anymore. I feel like
That's how I was like I'm a huge Simpsons fan. So then people were like, "Oh, you'll love Futurama." Then I don't like Futurama at all.
I hate The Simpsons, but I love Futurama. I'm being
It's like
serious.
the complete opposite.
I hate The Simpsons, but I love Futurama.
I like The Simpsons over Futurama. I can't.
Oh my god, y'all are all stupid. I hate all of you.
I haven't been able to watch Futurama since I was like 8.
I'm gonna after this podcast, I'm gonna go drown myself.
Oh my god, Stevie, shut up.
Oh, don't worry, I'll talk to y'all tomorrow though.
Yeah. So, TJ, I guess I have to ask, would you expect American Dad conversations on here when you got the email to be on our podcast?
If you say yes, I will slap you silly.
I usually don't have any expectations because every time I do I've done like a whole bunch of different podcasts and like radio interviews the last couple of years, and they've gone in so many random directions that
I think we're the most
expectations.
random direction podcast you will find.
We don't have organization.
Yeah.
No, we don't. We really don't. I mean, we got Dustin, but that's not really organization. It's more or less like how would you say lack of intellect. And then you got Alan with lack of masculinity. And then you got Jen, lack of Mexicanism.
Oh my gosh, I'm black.
So,
That's why I said lack thereof.
we kind of compare ourselves to the aspiring wrestler version of the Art of Wrestling podcast. Just, you've heard Colt Cabana's podcast before, right?
I've heard like half of one. I don't really listen to it at all.
You're not a Cabana fan?
No, I'm good friends with Cabana. I just
You should get him on here. No?
I just don't really listen to a lot of stuff like that.
You should spread the word that Colt said about no.
Please don't do that. Don't make his wet dreams come true.
Start doing it again. Dustin, just shut up.
What?
We just finally got you to stop challenging him every episode.
And now you
Am
do it again.
Am I challenging him, or am I asking TJ to nicely make a recommendation? Have Colt listen to our podcast and tell us what he
And
thinks.
then he will hear the challenges.
I'm not challenging this podcast. I was joking with him.
I
I
don't
listen to, like,
I don't understand like what the challenge is. Like,
Oh my god.
Oh god.
Yeah, what's the challenge?
Just
Exactly,
don't
tell me.
explain it to him. I got a headache.
They think I'm
Okay.
challenging Colt. For comic relief, I just made a joke. Then we wanted to challenge Colt to a podcast off for the heck of it. I've not done that in weeks, and they're stuck on that.
Yeah,
how
but
do
you
you
did it
have
for
a
weeks
podcast
straight.
stop?
That's exactly what I said.
I want to know.
Those are Dustin's words, not ours.
It's just
TJ,
you guys
don't judge me.
It's just that's like a debate without the debate. Like, it's just people talking.
don't challenge me. It's comic relief. That was the point. You're supposed to say stupid things.
Although
together.
a dual podcast would be kind of cool.
It would be sweet though if you gave. I don't know. I'm in dreamland right now.
Okay,
I'm
you need to
sorry.
shut up, Dustin.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, back to, do we have any more questions?
Yeah. Youngin of Madness wants to know, what is something you can only learn from experience when it comes to wrestling? What is one thing you have to be in the ring that you'll only know if you are a wrestler, I guess?
All of it. I don't know. I don't know how else to answer that. Everything. I mean,
I heard the dues process is one big thing.
you heard what?
The dues process? Like, you can only pay dues if you're a wrestler. I know that. Like,
Yeah. I mean, well, yeah, I guess, but I mean that kind of goes without saying. I mean, like if you did anything, I mean, if you joined a fraternity or something like that, like you know what to expect if it's your first day, but I mean, and I don't even like personally, I don't believe in like hierarchy in wrestling and stuff like that. Like I'll sit next to like a new guy or let him take my chair. I don't care. Like stuff like that doesn't matter to me. I don't think it should matter. You know, I mean, we're there to go to work. To like, like they're a human being too. Like what makes me like twice the human being that this guy is? Like I don't understand that.
Alan puts on nail polish.
Fuck you, Steven.
That makes me more human than he does. I can tell you that right now.
This ain't about me, Steven. Shut up.
I'm just saying.
Do we have any more
I
questions?
just got a random question.
Go for it.
He already answered that, so never mind.
Wow.
Yeah, some random person just sent me a question. I forget what his dream opponent is, and he already said it was Eddie Guerrero. So, if Eddie was still alive, unfortunately, Eddie's not with us anymore, but...
Is that all the questions you have?
Steven said a whole bunch of other people were sending him on the account.
Oh yeah, what about all of Dave's questions he texted you, Steven?
Actually, you were reading them, Dustin. The ones that we were getting on our account. They were getting annoying, actually. My phone and my iPod kept going off.
I was reading the ones off my favorites, dude.
So do you have anyone, Steven?
Excuse me.
Yeah.
Do you have anyone, Steven, that haven't been asked yet?
Let me read the ones that David texted me.
Okay.
This is Marcus 25 Green that's asking your question.
The one who sounds like a ghetto football superhero.
Michael.
Yeah. Okay, let's see. He wants to know, how long does it take to master high-flying moves?
Wow.
I'm gonna facepalm right now.
Yeah.
I could take. that's a pretty case by case thing. I mean,
I think we could all answer that one, honestly.
Yeah.
Shut up, Dave!
I mean, does he have any, does he have any intelligent questions in there?
The obvious answer is everything is different. Like, I was blessed with, like, I've never had to be told, like, twice, to do anything. Like, a lot of things, like, physically speaking, come very naturally to me, and obviously, like, I'm never done learning mentally speaking, so I'm always working on my IQ, but like, you know, like the first time somebody said, okay, like, this is, you know, how you do this, and like, it was like, you know, reading directions off of paper, I just did it. Some people, I mean, I see them struggle with things forever, and just because there's certain things that just won't click with them, certain things they'll get the first try, so I mean, obviously it's, don't really know how to answer that, everybody's different.
Okay, here's another one. Would you be mad if I bought... Oh, wait, no, that was for me. Never mind. Sorry, I was scrolling back and forth. Shut up!
Dude.
What are your favorite matches? Well, I would appreciate it if he elaborated some more on that.
I mean, does he mean matches that he's competed in or that he's seen, or does... Okay, let's break that into two parts. What are some of your favorite matches that you have competed in? We'll start with that.
So we'll go with me and not me. That's how we'll separate it?
Yeah.
Alright. The matches for me, probably my favorite match I've ever had, I don't think it was my best match, but maybe my favorite one is, when I was 18, I was living in Mexico City, so I was wrestling for CMLL at the time. I spent a year there. And at the end of my stay there, I wrestled at their 70th anniversary show. It's like their WrestleMania. And they sold out Arena Mexico, which was pretty cool because it's a legendary arena. It's a big one, too. And it was a tag match, and it was the final match in like a series of matches that we had all had together. And after the match was over, the crowd threw money in the ring. And in Mexico, the tradition in Lucha Libre, and it's very, very rare, especially for non-Mexicans, for crowd to throw money in the ring, because that's their way of showing appreciation for you, having had an exceptionally rare match that they like. So, you know, they'll toss like quarters and like wadded up dollars, like change basically in the ring. So they threw in all this money and there was like raining money. So it was really cool to be there. It's such an important moment in the company. in such a legendary arena, and for me, like, I was spoiled. I was so young to experience that, and to have that was awesome. So I'd probably say that. My first match at the Tokyo Dome, I was also 18. And then the other one I'd probably say is in 2006 at Destination X, I had a 4-way match with Chris Sabin, Sanjay Dutt, and Petey Williams, and that was really cool. I thought the match was very good, and people really liked it, and I don't know, it was just cool for a lot of reasons. I was like nearly crippled, and the match came off without a hitch, so it's like that was like my Michael Jordan flu game. So, so I really like that one personally.
So, I'm kind of biased because I want to train with this thing that it trained you. Tell me, what was your training with Jesse Hernandez like?
Well, Jesse's really, really old schoolish. When I started there, he was still partnered with Bill Anderson, and then shortly after I had started, they split up, and I just went to both their gyms at the same time, separately. Both of them are really, really old schoolish. Like, they won't, they're not too terribly hands-on like the way more modern, like, training camps are, like a developmental system or something like that. They're not very paint by the numbers in that way. Like, they kind of feed you to the wolves the way that their generation was. So, that you kind of learn on the fly with them, which is really the best way to learn. That's why, like, you see, like in interviews and books and things, when like people say, like, they used to learn wrestling, like, riding in the car between, like, shows and stuff like that. And they would learn, you know, grinding it out on the undercard and stuff like that. In Mexico, it's still really old schoolish. Like, it's like they don't really have a whole lot of wrestling schools there. Like, you know, there's guys that camp outside the arena and wait for, like, training, which is not really a public announcement, like, for the company. And then they kind of get ushered in, kind of like a fraternity. They just get the crap beat out of them, and they have to carry buckets of sweat or shit like that around. I don't know. Like, it's really old schoolish, and that's kind of how Bill and Jess were. Not in so much of the hazing way, but in the way that they brought you up. Like, they didn't give you a lot of answers, so you're kind of like, you know, sink or swim type of thing. So, which I prefer that way of learning.
So, would you recommend Jesse Hernandez as a trainer to anybody that wants to train in pro wrestling? Yeah,
I absolutely would, just because he's able to be flexible with people coming in as students, and he's a great example of getting out what you put in. Like, because he's hands off and because he kind of feeds you to the wolves a bit, if you're not putting anything into it, you're not going to get anything out of it. But if you're really serious, then you're going to end up answering a lot of your own questions, and he's going to give you what you need to know, you know, in order to grow. And he's, you know, he's a really good source of, you know, paving the way for young guys, like explaining how, you know, even in the modern world, he still, you know, knows how to help build a person's career. So
one thing I've noticed, he likes to play a father figure in wrestling. Obviously, his statuses, you know, about how much he really does care when his wrestlers develop and stuff. I don't know if you ever got a taste of that, but he's always talking about how proud he is of his guys and stuff.
I'm sorry, he says what now?
I don't know.
No, I couldn't hear what you said.
No, it was cutting off. I just said Jesse, I can see, has that old school feeling, like he likes to play a father figure in wrestling a little bit. I see some of his stats on Facebook about how he always, is so proud of his guys and stuff, so it's kinda cool to see that from him.
Yeah, no, he's definitely like that. I don't know what he puts on Facebook because I don't have one, but he definitely
that's a good
has
plug right now.
he definitely has that type of approach. He does care about he does care about, you know, people that he mentors and things like that. I mean, see, for me, I mean, he was never really that big of a mentor to me. I was always kind of in the background with him. He never really played a very influential hand on me doing anything, but looking back, the fundamentals that I was able to build on, learning how to do all this, came from him. But, so he was never like a father figure like that, like a mentor-ish to me, but to a lot of people he is. So I mean, it's definitely a pleasant experience if like I said, if you put a lot into it. So
to clarify, you would recommend this school to train at, though?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, there's not too many places, I think, as far as a modern system goes, that I think are really great. And as far as a timeless system, I think he's as good as it gets. I think he's a really great place to go.
There are a lot of big names that come from him. But one thing I was going to ask, what would be the best advice to prepare to train with Jesse? What would you say to expect, like what to prepare for? I mean, I'm trying to figure out how to
long hours. He makes you put in a lot of time, man. Like I've trained in a few different camps before, and he really puts his guys to work. So that's one thing is I've never felt like I was at a. Well, no, I shouldn't say that. Like when I was in the dojo in Tokyo, it was pretty damn grueling, obviously. And I had one coach who was like, to me, he's like the most influential coach I've ever had. That's Kevin Quinn. He doesn't train guys anymore, really, but he's more or less out of wrestling at this point. And he was pretty grueling as well. But I think that's because he only had a very small group of us. We didn't come to him like as far as like sign up and go. It's like he took us under his wing like privately, so to speak, and so we didn't really have like a class or anything like that. But like with Jess, it's just his training is a lot of hours and a lot of work. He really works people. So I would just what to expect is it's very grueling mentally and physically, because you just end up putting so much time in, and it's just, it's very painful mentally and physically.
Alright, perfect.
Alright, I have a question. Alright, I just got a question on my Twitter. This one comes from...
Can you say who you are for him? So he knows who's talking to him?
Oh, this is host Alan right here. This question comes from @Dashy Rated R. How do you feel about the Suicide name change and thoughts on winning the X Division title?
I am glad that there's no more complication with, a name like, as far as the moniker goes. I think that there's, a question for a while as to how, for me, for this, character, like how is this being digested by people? Like when they think of this, or are they thinking razor blades to wrists, or are they thinking like, X Games, like this guy's suicidal, he's willing to do anything, that type of thing, like, which, there's a lot of people that look at it that way. Like, is this guy like a daredevil and he's self-destructive because of his will to win, or is he legitimately like doesn't care about life? Like, so I think that I'm glad that there's no question about that anymore, and it makes it more, communicative to people as far as it being able to translate to, to children and people like that can be inspired by it, as opposed to just drawn into it as something that's cool. So, I mean, I think it's a great transition.
Steven's gonna hate me for this question, but Steven is a pro wrestler. He's on the injury list
if
right
you
now.
ask him that question, I will go to Oregon and I'll rip your damn head off. I have a feeling I know what.
Yeah, I know exactly what question Dustin is about to ask, and
you know what?
Don't ask it.
Connections. I've learned one thing about wrestling. I'm not a wrestler, but I've learned connections help you the best, Steven. So you got to put your pride down. He's a wrestler, and he just got certified, then got injured. What would you say is the best way when he gets I'm trying to think of the word.
Healed up.
when he gets healthy.
Re-healed up. When he gets healthy, what is the best way for him to, try to get a booking? Or,
I was not expecting that, actually.
Okay, sorry. Let me clarify this. He's a wrestler who's been hurt now.
Steven, you asked him for me. He's hurt. He has a torn rotator cuff.
Yeah, my life sucks.
Okay.
But he graduated.
Oh my
He
I think you
graduated
fucked up that
the-
question big
okay.
time, by the way.
What?
Yeah, I'm like confused as to what the hell he's trying to ask.
Oh god.
Yeah,
So you're
I'm
gonna
a little
ask everybody.
I think I get it, but I'm a little confused
Alright, I'll
just in case I don't get it.
Clarify it.
I'll clarify for you, DJ. I'm trying to ask, Finn, not effing you Ramirez guy, is a professional wrestler. He graduated Booker T's Pro Wrestling Academy, but he tore his rotator cuff. So when he gets healthy, what is the way for it? What would your best advice for it?
Would be for him to get a booking.
What would your
There you go.
yeah, like how should he approach like
He's face palming like crazy.
Well, the first thing that I would probably do is
Take
you
notes,
said
Steven.
he came out of Booker T's camp.
Yeah.
Is that what you said?
Yep.
Probably the first thing that I would do is approach my mentors and like certainly there must be something connected to where he is in the group of people that he's working with at the moment, where he can go about being plugged in. That's always the case as far as step one. Outside of that, it's really the same game everywhere else. I mean, it's just about asking questions and really about putting yourself in front of the right people and, being there. So, I mean, you really need to, you gotta find what you want, go to it and, ask questions and be diligent just like, getting any other job. As modernized as wrestling has become, just the functional way that it works just to get in, just like with anything, it's just like how we see in movies. When you see people like in in movies and like period pieces, like guys in like the 1800s that are trying to get a job, they're just sitting outside of the bar bugging people until they can get one. Like, times have not changed at all as far as that goes. Sometimes you just really have to bear down and do that. But I would definitely start by, talking with my mentors where I came from, because certainly there must be some sort of local scene that they could go about being plugged into, which is really the best way to start because, it's easier to network that way.
Skype's starting to mess up.
Yeah, it cut you off a little bit.
Oh, sorry.
It's not
Steven, do you
your
have any
fault.
other questions?
That's all I had on my end.
I
haven't got any.
Steven, I was gonna say,
Steven, do you have any more?
Steven, as a wrestler, I was wondering if you would have anything, to try to help him out when he gets uninjured.
It sounds
Oh my
weird
God.
to be uninjured.
It really does.
Like, that
I
doesn't sound
recovered.
real.
It just say when you get healthy.
When you get healthy, do you have anything?
That sounds even more creepy. It sounds like...
Just, do you have any questions, Steven, is what we're asking. God.
Okay.
Steven, you give me a headache.
Give me a minute?
I'll ask him really quickly. From your experience with TJ, what do you think would be the best promotions for him to attempt? Like, who do you think are the most, willing to give an opportunity? And Steven remembered his name.
Well, that's a tough question just because, at the lower levels, there's stuff everywhere. So, I mean, a lot of making opportunities is to take smaller opportunities that kind of don't mean anything and build consistency. Like, the best way for me to explain this is I had this whole career from when I was 13 till about when I was, I think 23. And I did all these great things, and then I moved to Florida to pursue working for WWE. And nothing came about from that, and everything ended up kind of crumbling on me. So because I was there, I had to kind of take off from everything else I was doing. So the rest of my career faded because I just out of sight, out of mind. I wasn't going to Japan, I wasn't going to Mexico, and I wasn't really taking independent dates anywhere because I was focused on being in that camp, in that system, and being there. So not getting anything from there, I came out of it having to start all over again. And, I was stuck in Florida at the time, and that's a whole other, ordeal in and of itself, which is the basis of that interview that TNA had with me prior to my Ultimate X match. This is what led to all those, horrible things that I very briefly touched on. But having to start over, it was kind of like this, where do I start now? So I was wrestling in bars on, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday nights for, nothing. And it was literally starting I felt like I was 13 all over again. I was like, God, at one point I was wrestling in the Tokyo Dome and wrestling on pay-per-view for TNA and doing Monday Night Raw, dark matches and things like that. How do I rebuild all that? And it was just literally doing what I did before, which is what I'm saying now is I just took all these local things, opportunities that people were just basically giving away because nobody really wants them, but, you build consistency by doing this. People would see that, well, this guy is a really incredible performer, and you see him all the time. So then, those opportunities spread like weeds. So then they lead to other things because people want your consistency somewhere else. And then pretty soon before you know it, the ball's rolling. You don't even know how you got to A led to B, led to C, led to D, and you don't even know how you got there. Just, it's all based on consistency at the lowest level, so.
Amazing.
I've got really bad gas right now.
Okay, too much information?
Sounds
Anybody
like
else
Dustin.
got anything?
No, all my
That's all
questions
my
have basically have been answered.
Yeah, I can only ask crappy Ask FM questions.
I want to ask this just because I like to annoy people.
Crappy Ask FM questions are some of the best questions.
Yeah.
I had to delete mine because of some questions.
She kept getting questions about her boobs.
But there were... Yeah, so I had to deactivate
That's
it
Ask FM for you.
Anyway, I'm drifting away from wrestling. When I ask TJ, are you a fan of video games?
Huge fan of video games. I'm terrible at
Okay. Well, that sounds about right. You're like Dustin. Xbox or PlayStation?
Oh, I was an Xbox guy, but it died on me, so I went to PlayStation because I was afraid a new one was going to die on me.
Yeah, he came to the good side. He came to the good side.
Good side.
They're trying to get me to transition. It's slowly working.
I mean, the only reason I went was just because it was just it was a simple answer because I had a 360, it red lighted on me, and then I did one of those homemade fixes like fucking MacGyver. And and it worked for a week, and then it died on me again. So then I was like, okay, well, in the process of learning how to fix it, I learned that Microsoft never fixed the problem. They're just selling Xboxes that they know, they well know that they're going to die, in a year on people if they use it frequently. So then I just figured, well, why, if this is going to happen again, and they know that it's a problem, but they're past the point of fixing it because they're not going to make any more new models, until the next generation. So then I was like, well, I'll just get a PlayStation 3 because they don't have this problem. So
He switched for the same reason I did. I mean, I went through.
I was an Xbox guy. I was I was all in on it. I liked my Xbox more than I liked my PlayStation 2, but I just
I feel like I'm the only person who did not have to send his Xbox out.
See, I went through 5 Xboxes before I finally gave up. Because I was
that's my nightmare, man.
I tried to support Xbox for so many years through all those systems, and then until I was just like, fuck it, I'm going to PlayStation.
Yeah, if I had a second Xbox that died, that's my personal nightmare. I would be livid at having spent that much time on something that I was gonna have to start over.
I've had my Xbox since I first bought it when it first came out. This thing is old as fuck and it still works.
I know. I got a buddy that he plays more frequently than me, and he has the tiniest bedroom in the world and one of those big ass Alienware computers. So, long story short, obviously the Xbox overheats. That's why the motherboard bends and it red lights. But my buddy is the king of techies worldwide, and his room is like 1,000 degrees, and his Xbox, which gets used more than mine did, has never once gave him a problem in years. Years he's had it. I don't get it.
Okay, so you
That
got
has
the
to be
PS3
annoying.
then. You got the PS3 then, right?
Yeah, and I got a Vita as well.
Have you got The Last of Us?
No, not yet. The
You
guys,
got it, TJ.
the guys are
Get
always
it.
playing it in the locker room, though.
You have to get it, dude. The game is beyond amazing.
I know I've seen it. I played a little bit of it. Just I don't have it myself. Some of the guys on the road have these. I don't know if you've seen them. You know those? They're like briefcases that you can put your PlayStation in or your Xbox, and they have a built-in screen.
Yeah.
So you just open the briefcase. It's like Mission Impossible or something like that. Like it's crazy stuff. So like, and there's like 3 different people that have that on the road all the time. So like sometimes I just sit in the back and play, and like either I watch somebody who's playing on theirs, or they'll just leave. Like somebody had Last of Us. I don't know whose it was, but they had Last of Us like 2 television tapings ago, and then it's just sitting there running. So whenever people were not warming up or stretching, they just walk over and start banging on it. So it was I love that game.
That's a good way to put it. I just got a really, really vivid image when he said start banging on it.
Yeah, I mean like literally like we're like, you know, like a monkey playing it, like smashing it.
TJ, I'm not sure how I'm supposed to feel about that.
Yeah.
I'm not even. I'm just gonna I'm gonna walk away now.
I got one more wrestling really.
I don't know. Shut up, Jen.
Would you say wrestling's like a brotherhood that almost all the guys are very close to each other that travel on shows together?
Yeah.
Some guys are, some guys aren't. I mean, it's like it's really like being in high school. Like you see different circles, and some of them don't mix with other circles. Some of them do. Some people don't belong to one. That's pretty rare. I don't belong to one. Like I've never really had that many close friends. I've had a lot of friends, but then there's some people that they're just like they're inseparable. Like I've seen some of the guys name their kids after their friends. Like that's how much like they mean to each other as far as like having been friends for such a long time. So it is and it isn't, I guess.
Because I hear a lot from wrestlers about how wrestling's like a family. So I had to ask out in your opinion on that.
I mean, it is, but then at the same time, it's, well, I guess you see this in families too, because like some of them would just like downright eat each other if that had to like come to that. Like they would just literally.
I'll say family fight.
Yeah, but you know what I mean. Like there is that type of dynamic where it's like they're like blood, like a family is, and then just like a family is, like that importance can go out the window at the snap of a finger. Just like they'll literally step on the other person just to get somewhere, and I don't know. It's exactly like that. I mean,
Politics, yeah, I guess. All right. Anybody else got anything for TJ?
I have nothing else special.
Yeah, all my questions have been answered.
All right.
Well, that's not surprising. You didn't start asking them questions for your Christian Mingle account.
For kicks and giggles, TJ, do you have any dating advice? They make fun of me because I've been single 20 years of my life.
Cause what?
Who makes fun of you? You do that yourself.
I've been
I
single
don't
all
care.
20 years of my life, and that's just a big joke to everybody. So, do you got any dating advice?
Hey, don't feel bad. So is Alan. He's older than you.
Wow. Oh wow. I'm the
So-
youngest one here.
What's that to do with anything?
I'm the one that's had the most boyfriends here, and I'm the youngest one.
Yeah, you will have the most boyfriends, because...
Well, so is Alan. Alan's got a pretty good boyfriend. He's
Steven?
Woodsman all the time.
Steven,
Alright,
shut your mouth.
TJ, I just want to personally thank you for being on our show today. Honor.
No, it was my
Thank you,
pleasure.
TJ.
Thanks
Why do you
very
make
much
it
for
sound like
having
he's
me.
leaving already.
So, sorry if I gave you such like boring answers to some of the questions.
Oh,
Oh,
no.
they were
Oh, no.
interesting.
We're good.
They're good. I mean, to be honest, we were never expecting when we built this thing to ever get even a wrestler like you on here, so this is already a step above in the right direction for us.
That's the thing.
So,
It's
we're
only
glad
started
you-
for me and Dustin Skype chats. It's just a dream come true.
Now we have a TNA superstar on our podcast.
This is making me a little bit emotional.
Yeah, it's just not even an original host. I don't know why she's getting emotional.
Cause I've been here for like most of the episodes.
Like
Alright,
6? I don't know.
I'm glad
And you include my
to
guest spots.
provide a big moment for everybody.
It's a big moment because we all want to be wrestlers. Steven is a wrestler, so any chance we can get to learn from one of the best, we want to take. I mean, I'm not going to shortcut around that. Me, especially, I do nothing but talk about wrestling. That's like my only thing no, this is going to sound really bad. I fanboy because it's something I am very hungry to learn, so oh my gosh, I have a stuttering issue. I'm sorry, TJ. But me personally, I'm like all excited and nervous because it's just a big deal to have an actual wrestler on here take the time to, teach and help us learn. So it really means a lot on my point of, just you going out of your way to help us out. So I thank you for that.
It's my pleasure.
I'm guessing these guys feel the same way, but they also got all shy on me. So
No, we were just
we
were just listening.
Listening, you son of a bitch.
It was a very insightful learning experience having you on the show tonight.
And I got a compliment, so I'm really happy.
oh
God. You don't let me look at her head.
so that being said, any of you have closing statements for TJ or do you have anything else you want? I guess first up, we'll ask, where can people find you, TJ, on social media?
Well, I guess, you could really, I don't have a whole lot of social media. I mean, I don't have a Facebook or anything like that. I have a Twitter, so I guess you can find me there. You can find the fake me on Twitter, which is the other Manic Impact. but I have a feeling that'll be more interesting later on, just not at the moment. Anyway, my Twitter is @MegaTJP, like Mega Man, but with TJP. And then my Ask FM is under the same name, so, that's really it. I don't really have anything else. I mean, I might have a MySpace still from when I was like 12 or something, but I don't know if it's still active.
Hey man, MySpace is coming back.
You might be back on
I'm
the
never
door.
going to use it again.
But yeah, I'm not real big on social media, but I'm trying to get a website done, which really is just going to be a compilation of whatever social media I have compiled up, but that's still in the works. So.
Alright. Anybody else got anything for TJ?
No, you said a mouthful.
Yep.
Yeah, would you mind spreading the word for our podcast?
Yeah, that's one huge favor. When it comes up and we tag in it, is there any way you might be able to, let people know you guested on our podcast?
Yeah, absolutely. I'll
Exposure.
Yeah, you guys put out any stuff, and I'll be happy to retweet it and spread the word.
We have a new episode come out every Sunday, so we'll just I guess tag you in it.
We'll tweet you then.
Yeah.
Thanks, TJ. Really big honor. I mean, when we emailed you, we didn't expect you to get on, and then you can even ask Alan and Jen. We were all like fanboying on our last podcast.
Well, it's actually recorded, so.
Yeah, it actually is.
It
It's
was
on the last
recorded
episode. Once you confirmed in your email that you were going to be on, it was recorded fanboying.
We were like
Me
quiet like
fangirling.
10 minutes.
And yeah, fangirling.
Right.
Well, that means a lot, guys. Thank you very much.
You're very welcome. Thank you for being on our podcast tonight.
No, I mean, anytime. Some guys, like, in my position, like, a lot of my friends, a lot of my peers, like, they're, weird and distant about this stuff, and they get really into being, like, pseudo-stars or whatever, the hell we are. But, to me, I sit around and I train, I watch tape, and I play video games all day. So, it takes nothing of me to participate and communicate with people, and I enjoy it a lot. And I think part of that is because coming up, I didn't have any mentors or anything. Like, I've always had to go out and get my own answers and learn my own way, and that's why I've had such a ridiculously long career is because, I've had to do so many things on my own. So like, when I hear that people want to ask questions or communicate or just talk, like, I think that's a really cool thing. So I'm always happy to do that.
Alright.
Hey, TJ, do you recommend any other wrestlers to be on a podcast? Was it a good experience or a bad experience?
I'm sorry, recommend any other people to come on?
Well, is this a good or bad experience for you?
Oh, was this a good or bad experience? This was a great experience.
Would you recommend our podcast? Okay.
Yeah, would you recommend anybody else in the profession to come on our show, is what he was asking.
Oh, okay. I thought he was asking me, like, to recommend people for you to go, like, invite on. Like, I don't know, like, who do you want to talk to? Like, no, I thought it was great. It was a lot of fun, and you guys run a very loose and easygoing ship, so I think it would be a lot of fun for anybody to come on.
I feel really good.
Oh, that means a lot. So we could
that means a lot to us, definitely.
Yeah.
So we could officially put in our bio that we are TJ Perkins approved, man.
Yeah, absolutely.
If it'll fit.
Hey!
We only have 4 characters left on that bio, so we'd have to edit it a little bit.
Yeah, we wanted to put we were Colt Cabana approved, but, well, that didn't go very well. Oh. It got you to laugh. Okay. Alright.
Got him to laugh a few
Well,
times.
I don't know.
He can stay if he wants.
I'll say you
I'll
do.
say you can
Yeah, you
I
can
would
stay
say
as long as you want, or you can leave.
Like,
feel
Sure.
free.
I'll stay if you guys have more podcasts. I don't know, like you guys got like a 4-hour show or something.
no, we don't. We try to keep it at least 2 hours, a little under 2 hours, every show.
There's only 7 minutes left, so I think that is fine if you guys have more stuff to cover.
How long have we been in this thing?
Yeah, how long have we been in here?
The official episode, aside from the actual Skype conversation, the official episode's been recording we're only at an hour 26.
That's
That was
it.
recap Raw. You down
Yeah,
to,
close to that.
I would say, you down to recap a little Raw, TJ?
A little what?
Raw?
I've missed several Raws, to be honest.
Oh.
I actually slept through this one, you guys. I'm sorry.
I don't even remember what happened.
I'll say I missed from main event up to freaking SmackDown. I missed like the rest of the week.
I missed main events. I missed to catch the first match of SmackDown on my computer at work. But that was it.
I'll say
Hey, Steven.
What?
How about you say time for advertisements, and we'll let TJ do the first advertisement of this show.
If he does a Paula Dean advertisement, I'm gonna be done. I'm gonna be done. Now for advertisements.
TJ, what would you like to advertise?
What would I like to advertise?
yeah, the time for advertisement segment is just like any random thing you can think of. Just
Okay, so here's an example. We have a weird dude named Ashton that comes on our show, and he has this weird obsession with Paula Dean and fat women in lingerie.
great way to
Right,
paint
Mom.
Ashton there, Dustin.
He likes to promote the Paula Dean Precious School Cooking, where you can get all the fried chicken you want, spread it all over dinner for a premium price.
Basically, any funny advertisements like
Don't
that.
forget the butter pie.
Oh God.
Yeah.
Here's a good one for aspiring wrestlers. Where would you like advertise a ring gear place?
Paula Dean.
Man, that's tough because everybody's most of my gear has been made by people that don't really run a business. They're just kind of work privately with a few different clients or something like that. Most of the time, so I've gone to places that is publicly accessible. That's been really awful experiences.
All right. Any other advertisements? How about your favorite food place?
Good question.
And then favorite.
Lately, I haven't been able to eat anything because I have such a strict diet. So I can't remember the last time I actually went somewhere just for the sake of. I live a very sad training life sometimes. Eating to me is a function. It's not even a thing that I do for fun anymore. It's just like putting gas in a car. Like, it kind of sucks, but I don't know. Let's see.
I don't feel bad.
You do the Hot Pocket.
I'm on a high protein diet and I'm already sick of chicken.
Yeah, I've been sick of chicken since before I was born. I hate chicken.
Vegan? Are you vegan, TJ?
No, not at all.
Oh, okay. How about do the Red Robin commercial?
Hot Pocket. Oh my goodness.
I couldn't help it. I haven't done it.
You know what the Red Robin commercial, right, TJ?
The what?
The Red
Oh my
Robin
God, are we
commercial?
really gonna do it?
Are we really gonna do that?
Are we really gonna do it?
Seriously?
Because me and Steven still got a duet today.
Oh
That's the
dear
end of
God.
No.
I
No.
don't know if TJ wants to do that.
The Red Robin commercial?
And we don't even know what song we're gonna do.
Yeah, we are. Alan's supposed to be playing a One Direction song for us.
What?
Sweet Jesus.
Oh my God. If we do a Run Direction song, I'm going to drown myself in my own urine.
Just do it.
Like,
Can we do the Red Robin thing and make me happy since it was my idea?
TJ, start it.
Yeah.
do you know the Red Robin commercial song?
I don't think so. I don't really get to see a whole lot of TV unless I'm watching sports. I don't remember any Red Robin songs.
It starts with this, just say Red Robin, and then we'll all say,
Oh God.
Oh, this is gonna be so embarrassing.
This is just gonna be awkward as
This is
hell.
terrible.
alright, TJ.
So how does
you
this
got to
work?
do it?
How about I do it and he just says it? 'Cause I know.
Yeah, just say yum with us.
After he says Red Robin.
Oh, I remember. I know what you're talking about. Where they'd say Red Robin. And then
yeah.
everybody. Yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't know that they said yum. I thought they said
No, they say yum.
Okay.
I thought they were just making like a tone, like they were just singing a cappella, like okay, like that's the sound
So
we'll
they're
make. I didn't think that it was an actual word they were saying. I just
No, they're saying yum.
Let's do this.
Let's do it.
Steven started.
No, TJ's supposed to start it.
Oh,
I
Whoever wants to
started.
do it.
So I gotta go Red Robin.
yeah.
Oh, that's great. That's a great follow up, fellas.
Okay, I didn't know that was the official start point, but
And
Yeah,
you,
we were like,
and you guys think that you have the team chemistry to become wrestlers.
ow.
Whoa.
We don't even like each other, dude.
Steven hates me with like a
I
burning
say Steven
passion.
hates all of us. We just coexist.
So they are my friends. I just hate them.
He calls me Jennifer, and that's not my name.
So I call you Jennifer. I call Alan the Shifestone. I call Dustin.
My name is
I'm not
Magenta.
going to go into details of what I call Dustin, so I'm just going to stay away from that.
But we completely fucked up the Red Robin commercial.
We did.
One more time.
Try,
Count the free, TJ.
try it one more time.
Okay.
Pull your best referee.
With a little heads up, like.
Well, I figure like, that should be pretty easy to identify when somebody says Red Robin. Didn't think I was taking you by surprise, but alright. Alright, I'll do it now. Red Robin.
Yo.
That was terrible.
That was god awful.
I couldn't keep a straight face.
Yeah.
Okay?
The way Dustin said it, I couldn't do it.
Like,
Hey.
it stalled on Dustin, and then like Jen joined, and then I joined. And it's like, okay, this is awkward.
And I just,
Yeah.
I
I'm not
laughed.
doing it again. You guys got no moxie.
Hey.
Well, of course,
That's cool, yo.
Well, of course I did. I had spaghetti. Oh, wait. Chicken spaghetti. I'm so sick of chicken.
All right, the Red Robin thing obviously did not work out.
Robin!
Oh my god. Okay, I think we're done. Okay, moving on from the
Yeah,
Red
I
Robin
give up
thing.
on the whole Red Robin
Yeah,
thing.
moving on from that.
No more
Alright.
singing ever.
So Raw. Anybody watch Raw?
I'm for
I missed it.
No, I didn't get. I don't even remember what happened. I forgot.
yeah.
Daniel Bryan Gauntlet was the main artist.
Oh
His
yeah,
match-
that was
Antonio-
badass.
His
I'll say
match with
the-
Antonio.
The Cesaro Bryan match was the
Yeah.
the pinnacle.
This
of that
is
night.
directed to you, John Stevens. This proves you don't have to be fast to be entertaining, you dumb bastard.
Oh
Hey,
my
TJ,
god.
what do you think about that? Hey, we have a wrestler.
What do I think about what?
Steven, tell what John Stevens said.
What? Oh, basically what John Stevens says, if you're not fast, then you're not entertaining anybody whatsoever. That's basically what he said.
Yeah, that sums up what
What do
he
you
said
think
in a
about that?
nutshell.
If you're
That's
not,
like insulting.
That's like
you're not
ignorant.
fast.
Yeah. I love the
Yeah.
I love the
I
silence.
love the silence says enough.
Yeah, the silence is just perfect.
What do you think
Hulk
about
Hogan
that,
might
TJ?
disagree with that.
I'll say Hogan was
The most successful wrestler in the history of the world disagrees with that. like the most, literally the most entertaining guy in the history of the world. I don't know what else to say.
You see, John Stevens, T.J. Perkins says, well, he didn't say it, but I'll say it for him. You're a dumbass.
I mean, the silence that he gave was enough.
That was like perfect.
Yeah.
Here's another one. What do you think about giving wrestlers, us demanding wrestlers to only have 5 minutes on the show? What would you think of that?
What would I think about what?
When we have guests on the show, professional wrestlers like yourself, only allowing them 5 to 10 minutes on our show.
Do you think it's wrong of us to give you guys as much time as you need?
No, not at all. I mean, like, okay, considering like, whenever we would get into just like one, like, good question, like, that question and answer and follow-up comments and follow-up answer probably takes 5 minutes already. So it's like,
Preach it. Preach
it's
it.
like,
Preach it.
it's like, okay, so you're gonna have guests just to ask like question of the day?
One question.
Like,
Oh my God.
like we're gonna have so and so on. Send in your question.
So how's your day?
And then the one lonely question we're gonna end up asking them.
If it's a terrible one, if it's a terrible question, we might have room for one more. Like, I mean, you gotta have more than 5 minutes.
Yeah.
Preach it.
So
Oh
that,
my brother, testify.
okay,
This guy
you
was
need to
trying
stop.
tell us how to record our podcast, and it was just really getting on our nerves.
Like, really.
Seriously, he was telling us, our guests have to have only 5 minutes. Our show should be broken down to like 10-minute segments. I'm like, what is this motherfucker smoking?
Do you think our show's a bad show, TJ? Or do you think that guy's just not knowing what he's talking about?
I only know the show that I've been on. It's a pretty good show. I don't know. Best show in terms
Alright,
of what, like,
that's all
in
we
regards to, like, who? Like, cause I don't really, I don't really, like, listen to podcasts and stuff, so I wouldn't,
Yeah.
I'm a really bad source of information as far as that goes.
No, you're not. You're a professional wrestler. That's all we need.
Well, I mean, like, okay, like, Cole Cabana is one of my best friends in wrestling. I've never listened to his podcast, like, once. So, I mean, that tells you right there that tells you right there, like, how much I can offer you in terms of, like, other, like, how shows are, but.
Did you ever wrestle CM Punk, by the way, TJ?
Yeah, several times. He's one of my good friends.
Oh, wow.
Nice.
You tell him we said hi?
I just, I told him some random dude I met in the gym said hi earlier this week.
Did you tell us? Can you tell him the URT will said hi?
Yeah, I don't know that he'll care, but
He probably won't, but
he doesn't even care when I say hi. So.
No.
he sounds
Well,
just
okay, here's an example. Like, earlier this week I caught some dude with a knees to faces shirt in the gym. So I asked him if I could take a picture, so I took a picture. I said, I'm gonna send this to my friend. And he started giving me a history lesson on CM Punk. So, alright. So I texted it to Punk. And I was like, hey buddy, look what I can't remember what I said, but it was like, look what I found type of thing. He sent me back a picture of a cupcake. That's it. He didn't say anything. He just, all he responded with was a cupcake. So like, he doesn't even care what I say half the time. So.
well, a cupcake, that might be like a little gesture for sweet.
No, I don't think so.
Oh, maybe not, I don't know.
Knowing him, no.
But that's the first thing that came to mind, sweet.
But I would be happy to tell him you guys said hello. So
He'll
Awesome.
probably send a cupcake or a french fry.
So he'll probably send another
Oh,
cupcake
man, that's
picture, but we'll take that.
Or block us. I don't know.
I would rather not get blocked by CM Punk.
Yeah.
I don't think he'd block saying hi. We're not like challenging his career or anything like all the idiots on Twitter.
Not like that one dude last week.
What do you think about
Paula Dean.
Oh god.
That's a good question. What do you think about Paula Dean?
Oh god.
I don't really know anything about Paula Dean. Who's Paula Dean?
Never mind. Where's Ashton? Where is Ashton? We need Ashton.
He will enlighten you about the life of Paula Dean.
See, but then we'd be here for another 3 hours.
Laughing, not being able to breathe like we did.
Yeah, because we would be dead from all the laughter.
Not to mention
Right.
the tweets we've had this week.
What
It's
do you... I have to ask TJ, what's your reaction to people trying to tell you how to wrestle on Twitter? I'm sure you get hate mail like people trying to teach you how to wrestle. You just laugh at all that.
I don't get it that often. Most people, they, like, unless they're incredibly positive, then, the only time I get negative stuff is when they're incredibly negative, and then they have way harsher things to say to me than teaching me how to wrestle. So, but most of that stuff I ignore. I ignore it to the point where I can't really, like, even right now I can't remember, like, the last I read something like that, which I'm sure I probably read a bunch of stuff today, but it's just I tune it out so much and so often, like I don't really remember. I don't really get that. I don't really get it that often. One time after a show out here in Los Angeles at Pro Wrestling Guerrilla, this guy wanted to tell me everything that was wrong with WWE, and I walked away from him in the middle of a sentence.
Nice.
Alright.
That's the best thing.
I listened to a little bit of it, and then I just walked away.
Alright, TJ, I'm not gonna lie. I kind of just fanboyed over you on our Twitter account because they're completely making us all LOL right now, so I had to mention. I wasn't expecting, you're a cool guy, your tweets, you're talking sports, mostly the Lakers, from what I see.
Yeah.
It's my favorite team. They're the best.
You're Lakers Nation, even though I'm gonna be honest here, I can't stand the Lakers. I'm a LeBron James fan, but,
Silence.
I like LeBron James. He's a great player.
Thank you. Somebody go Clippers, though.
See, I happen to be a Celtics fan myself.
And I'm a Lakers fan. Been a Lakers fan for like ever.
I just think it's cool that
I've been a lifelong Lakers fan. My mom's family is from Chicago, so, I grew up a big Jordan fan and a Bulls fan, a little bit. I mean, they pushed it on me, but I've always been a Lakers fan. I mean, ever since, like, Showtime days. Because, I grew up, like, Magic Johnson was still playing, so. My favorite Lakers team was the mid-90s when they were, like, falling apart, actually. Like, right before they signed Kobe and after Magic had to retire. Like, I loved those Lakers. Like, Nick Van Exel, Eddie Jones. Like, I loved that era so much.
random Laker team.
Dude, those were the greatest years to me. I don't know why. I loved them so much.
Why? Because they lost a lot.
They still made the playoffs. I think there was only one year that they didn't make it. I remember going the year before they drafted Kobe and traded for Shaq. They went to the second round of the Western Conference. Actually, they may have went to the semifinals of the Western Conference. I don't know how deep they went. They were somewhere in the middle. I think the winner of their series with San Antonio went to the actual conference finals. That's what I was talking about that year. And Nick Van Exel was keeping them alive. I don't know. I love that team. It's obviously doesn't get a lot of play because there's not really any iconic players in a franchise that probably, rivals the Yankees with iconic players, but yeah.
I see you're a big Dodgers fan, and I'm a huge Dodgers fan.
Oh, bro.
Hold on, Dad. Okay. I
Yeah,
know.
Pops, wait.
Sweet.
What? All right, I will, but I'm doing something kind of important.
Dustin
what
Diva
do you
Show
think
episode
about-
4. Sorry.
What do you think about Yasiel Puig?
dude's incredible. He's gonna be a Hall of Famer if he doesn't fall apart in his personal life.
He's falling apart right now, though. He's kind of in the middle of a little bit of a slump right now. I don't know if you know that.
Yeah, but I mean, you can't stay hot forever. I mean, even if people don't figure you out, like, you know, I mean, it'd be like me saying, like, all right, like, write the same word on a piece of paper over and over again. Like, it's the easiest thing in the world to do, but after you do it 100 times, even if nobody's messing with you, you might screw it up. Like, sometimes it gets hard to do the same things, and it's his first year. So, I mean, maybe some pitchers are starting to figure him out. From watching him, I could see that they start to go out of the zone on him because they know he's going to swing away on the first pitch, if it's close. So they'll line him up outside, but you know, I mean, he's a gamer. I mean, you can just tell by the way he plays, he's going to find a way to you know, help the team win, but like, he's going to do some impressive work on his stat line at the same time just because of the way he plays. And dude crashes through walls just catch a fly ball. Like, he plays like he's trying to win a Gold Glove every single game.
Well, yeah, no one's more disappointed than Matt Kemp right now, though.
Yeah, well, I just feel so bad for the guy having to keep going down on the DL.
Yeah, but I was gonna say he didn't hustle to home plate, or if he would have hustled, he would have avoided that injury, though.
Yeah, well, I think that injury was probably there. Like, I think he kind of could see that. A lot of times when people aren't hustling, it's because they know that they're hurt and don't know it yet. And that's probably what I think the case was, is like, I think he probably should have stopped in his tracks and just got tagged out and stayed healthy. But in his head, it's like, I know I'm going to get hurt right now, so what do I do about it? You know?
And so he ran anyway.
Yeah, like, it's one of those things where it's like, you know, like when you're trying to like if you're carrying too many things in your hands at once and you know you shouldn't be doing it, so then your reaction, instead of putting them down, is to try to get to your place faster and you drop it all. Like, I think that was the case. It's like he knew he was going to get hurt on that play, so it's kind of deer in headlights type of thing.
All right. I was seriously about to do the yum thing.
Oh God.
To the wrong thing.
I know.
Oh,
hey, Alan, have you picked that One Direction duet song yet?
We are not singing One Direction.
I would say I'm not even, like, haven't even thought of that.
Oh, you guys are lame.
Not this.
You don't want to give.
Please.
Yeah, not with PJ. All right, I'm going to pull up the Raw recap so we can get some of that maybe going.
We're not doing a duet this week, guys.
No, we will. We just don't know what song yet.
Yeah, we will. Just pick a song. Hey, TJ, what's your favorite song?
Favorite song ever is Billie Jean.
Oh, what?
What?
You just blew my mind right now.
Steven.
Why is that?
I didn't expect you to say that. I thought you'd say something else.
Actually, I wasn't expecting to say anything a Michael Jackson song at all.
Yeah. Like a Rancid or Blink-182 song or something?
Yeah, like, I don't know.
Steven.
I love pop music and rap and everything. I might have said Billie Holiday, I don't know, like, but Billie Jean's my favorite song, like, ever.
Like, Michael Jackson's amazing. I'm like the biggest Michael Jackson fan.
I don't really have, like, superstitions or routines or anything like that, like, in my life, like, as far as, like, good luck or anything like that, but before I wrestle, I always listen to Michael Jackson.
That's legit. I was like, okay.
All I listen to is rock.
Alright, so we found out what song we're gonna sing. Billie Jean by Michael
Well,
Jackson.
you will not ruin that song.
We're gonna sing it just to piss Jen off.
Yeah.
No, you can ruin Whitney Houston all you want, but you will not ruin
No, since that's like, you three should do that. TJ, Dustin, and Steven, y'all should sing that song.
TJ, do it.
That's a segment we like to have here on the Untitled Roundtable. Is like, we'll pick a song and they'll just do a horrible karaoke rendition of it. So if you're up for that,
TJ, please. TJ, please.
Of what? Of Billie Jean?
Billie Jean, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my, I might want to get in on
I'll
this.
send you the lyrics.
I'm not doing a duet to Billie Jean. I'm not doing karaoke to Billie Jean. I'll dance to Billie Jean, but you ain't gonna see it right now.
We can't see you dance.
I'm on Skype. You might see it in like backstage access Impact when like the producers film me dancing to it before I wrestle or some shit like that. But
Alright, you can dance, and we'll mention your dancing while me and Steven are singing then.
God,
okay.
I'm just gonna have to warn you now. You're gonna have to cover your ears. Just
They really sing badly.
Maybe I should take my headphones out.
It probably would be a good idea.
You need a laugh. You need a laugh, TJ.
I don't even think I can see this because I'm just like, I've never seen.
It's not gonna last but 10 seconds anyway. It never does.
You're just probably gonna say Billie Jean is not my lover or something. She's just a girl.
Billie Jean.
First, gotta say that baby definitely is not mine. That baby look nothing like me.
Oh god. So yeah, you might want to take out those headphones.
That's like a really terrible interpretive art version of Billie Jean.
Alright, TJ. What song would you duet with me and Steven to if we were to pick one?
Just horrible karaoke.
That will be a question. Yeah, what would you karaoke?
Well, acapella karaoke.
I can't even remember last time I did anything at karaoke. I'm trying to remember the last time I went to karaoke. We probably won't get through anything though, because my phone's like at like 3%. So
Someone will judge.
I'm almost done here.
Oh, okay.
Okay, Steven, we're not
He
into
it tonight.
we're not doing that song, but
Fuck you, Alan.
Are we not karaokeing?
No. At least
I think TJ said his phone was at 3%.
Yeah.
So he's almost done.
Yeah.
Like,
Oh. Well, hey, we can let you charge up your phone if you need to go, TJ. Don't feel like you need to stay that whole 3%.
No, it's fine. I'm a trooper. I'm an Iron Man. So.
Alright. Do you want to
I could wait it out, but.
Alright. Then I'll ask your thoughts on a couple of Raw matches. What do you think?
Oh, go ahead, Dustin.
What do you think about, obviously you haven't watched Raw, but do you think it's cool to see guys, I'm guessing you worked or at least been on a card with Bryan Danielson and Claudio Castagnoli, right?
I'm sorry. I know that they wrestled on a recent episode. Are you asking me if I saw it? Or
Have you ever been on a card with them? That's what he asked.
Yeah. Plenty of them. Brian's one of my closest friends for a long time. We started in Japan together. We traveled together a lot.
Hey, this is awesome, man. We have a guy that's friends with Daniel Bryan and CM Punk. And yet Steven still doesn't know who you are.
Shut up!
Wow.
Busy asshole, okay?
So, do you think it's cool to see some of your, better friends like Bryan Danielson and CM Punk getting like these major pushes they're getting on Raw?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I was just ecstatic for him just, to, find some security somewhere in a place they wanted to be. More so than like, anything they're doing on a day-to-day basis. I was just really happy to see that they had that type of transition. Of course, I'm happy to see everything else that comes with it.
Hey, TJ, right away, really quickly, let us know when your phone's at 1% so we can introduce you one last time and plug your Twitter so people know where to find you.
No problem. It's still at 3 right now, so I'll let you know.
Alright, good, cool. So the Shield and Mark Henry and the Usos are doing this thing right now, on Raw. What is your, thoughts on Dean Ambrose, Seth Rollins, and Roman Reigns? I mean, obviously you probably know him as Jon Moxley and Tyler Black and all that stuff, so.
Yeah, I don't know Tyler all that well. I know him a little bit. Mox I know a little bit better. I know Dean Ambrose a little bit better. When, actually there's a little bit of trivia is, this company, Dragon Gate USA, first started offering contracts when the company was growing. The first 3 guys that they wanted to sign, that they made offers to, were this guy by the name of Brad Attitude. He was a former developmental wrestler. He had the same type of character that Alex Riley had previously with the Letterman's jacket and all that stuff. So he was one. I was the other, and Dean Ambrose was the third. And
wow.
Yeah, so we were kind of in this.
Dean Ambrose.
Yeah, we were kind of running in the same circles for a little bit a few years ago.
Wow, dang, that's kind of cool, dude. I mean, that's an honor for you, I bet. You know how far he's gotten.
It's really cool to see him succeed. I mean, much like the same thing with like Punk and Bryan. I mean, it's a really cool thing to have seen the potential that a guy has and then see them, move on to like such great things. As I don't know, I guess at the time I guess it is kind of an honor, like, to have been able to see it up close. I guess I didn't really think about it at the time because most of these guys have been wrestling longer than, like, I've been wrestling longer than Bryan, and I think I've been wrestling longer than Punk. So like a lot of the times when it's like, cause guys think I'm like, oh, TJ's so young, but like I've been wrestling so absurdly long, like that when I come across people, they're like, oh man, that must have been an exciting experience for you. And I'm like, in my head, I'm like, what, like helping them at the time? Cause a lot of times, like, a lot of these guys were like, I guess just peers with me. Some guys were like I could see them coming, and then out of nowhere, just like through the roof, they just found success, with Mox, it was like that. Like, I'm sure I've been wrestling longer than Mox, but like, it was really cool to see like this guy with such potential. And I always used to love watching him, and being in the locker room with him, and just to see him succeed was incredible. I thought it was exciting for me to see him be able to demonstrate that, at a major league level. Cause I always thought, this guy, it's gonna be a shame if he never gets that shot. So I'm glad he did.
I feel like an idiot. I forgot to ask this question because I usually start off with wrestlers we interviewed, but I'll ask it now, I guess, since you're almost out of here. It's kind of late. How'd you get into professional wrestling? Like, not like training, but like, what got you to watch it? Like, I'm asking me.
No idea, really, because I've been watching and immersed in wrestling for as long as I can remember. Like, I mean, I remember. I was born in Kansas City, and I lived there for like 3 years, and then my family moved all of us to LA. So like, I have there's a very clear memory of, like, in my brain, like a historical footnote of my childhood, like before, I was like 3 years old, and after I was 3 years old. Before I was even like 3, I remember like being a little toddler in Kansas City and watching like WWF Saturday Night's Main Event and stuff like that, like bouncing around in the living room, and my dad trying to feed me chili dogs and stuff like that. Like I remember watching it then, and I remember loving it then, like when I was like 3. So like, I don't remember there ever being a single moment. It was just like I grew up my whole life thinking I love this, and then like somebody asked me on Ask FM like earlier this week about, and I get this question like once every 2 weeks, literally like once, maybe even every other day sometimes, how did I start in wrestling, or how did I get into it, or when did I know I was going to become a wrestler? And I literally grew up thinking, like, I was so self-centered on wrestling that like I thought everybody grew up to be wrestlers. That's how I thought of it in my head. Like my best friend, I thought, okay, well, we're going to grow up to be wrestlers, and that person's going to grow up to be a wrestler, and I'll be in the store and like see another like kid, and like he's going to be a wrestler. Like, we all grow up to be wrestlers. Like, in my head, there was no other occupation, even though I clearly know that there's other stuff to do in the world. Like, but for some reason, I just never saw a future where I wasn't a wrestler. Like, it just never occurred to me.
So you're like the definition of the wrestling is life hashtag, because
it's
your life.
Yeah, no, it really is. And not because I'm one of those like super passionate guys like that are like, will like look you in the eye and be all serious and growl at you like wrestling's my life. Or blah, blah, blah. Like, I'm not like that at all. I just like, I honestly am programmed. I just have never ever seen a future where wrestling did not exist to me. And at this point, like, I've been wrestling since I was 13, and I started back in like 1998. So like, I don't remember what it was like to spend my day and I wasn't a wrestler. Like some people like, you know, they get into it when they're like they finish college or something like that and they're still young adult and they break into it because they don't know what else to do and that's their dream. Some people on rare occasions, like they'll do it right after high school or something like that. They'll jump right into it. But, you know, these people, they remember what it's like to be a kid and like eat bagel bites and sit in front of the TV and play Super Nintendo and, you know, like they remember what it's like to come home from school and have nothing to do. Like, you know, like I don't remember that. Like my freshman year, I was a professional wrestler. Like I don't remember what life was like before having to pack a bag.
Damn. My freshman year, I was only into art. I'm serious, all I did was draw.
Man.
And I was
Hey,
a nerd.
TJ, this question is to make you laugh, but
Okay.
when you took your first bump, did you look up to your trainer and say that pro wrestling is not fake?
Oh,
No. Not at all.
That's all you haters, you bastards.
Well, I was actually, that's a certain pointing fun at a certain somebody because he tells us the story about how he looked up to his trainer when he went to one day of wrestling practice and said he thought it was like really fake and he looked up to his trainer like, oh, this is not fake.
What was your first clue? God.
So I just wanted to see what your reaction to that would be. I feel stupid now, but
I don't know, like
Wait.
the way, like what I was telling you earlier about when that dude asked about, how long does it take to learn the high flying moves? And I was like saying, like for me, like I never had to be told twice. Like somebody was like, okay, you do this. And then, you know, they'd explain it and I'd do it. Like it was like I was like a short order wrestling machine, like is what I was. Like you tell me to do something, I did it. When I started wrestling, like in this case, like, you know, falling down for the first time, getting hit for the first time, all this stuff, it's like, I don't know, it kind of felt like it's like if I was in another life, like I was a wrestler in another life too, because it's like everything felt natural, like it felt right. Like nothing ever felt foreign to me. Every single thing felt like, in my head, as soon as something happened, I was like, alright, that's what I guess it should feel like. That's what it should be. Like, I've never been shocked by anything.
Okay.
yeah, that high flying question I can apologize for.
Yeah, Dustin, next time you see Dave, make sure you slap him for me.
and me.
And for Alan and for Jen. Well, pretty much everybody in the wrestling industry, so that's about 15,000 slaps.
More than that. That's
That was just a rough estimate. Okay, let me make 15 million slaps? Or is that too much? Is that too much?
No, that's good. That's good. 15 million's a
Okay.
good amount.
For the for some fans too.
Oh my
Wow.
gosh. Well, hey, TJ, should we plug your Twitter and stuff one last time before you die on us? Oh,
Yeah.
that's just my
Yeah, if you want, we could do that. I'm at 2 right now. I think
I
I'm
just
about
wanna
to
make
drop.
sure.
I should drop to 1 at any second now, but I'm still in the game.
I just want to make sure that we get you in one last time before you do die.
Yeah, no problem.
You don't act like you're having a heart attack. I mean, your phone's dying.
Well, I guess, if we're gonna plug my Twitter, then it's just at megatjp. It's really easy. And then, Ask FM is the only other social media I have, and it's the same name, so it's easy to find.
And remember, your Untitled Roundtable is officially now TJ Perkins and Manic approved.
Yep. TJ Perkins.
Yeah.
Highly approved.
What?
What?
Huh?
Huh?
Wow.
Alright.
Who
Hey,
blessed
thanks
me?
for joining us tonight, TJ.
It was an honor to have you on here tonight, man.
Yes.
Huge
Thanks,
honor.
TJ.
You guys are
Steven's
very
making
welcome.
Steven's making a lot of jokes, but he really is deeply down inside. He's honored too, so.
I just
Even
said
if
it.
it's-
I said, yeah, thank you. You didn't hear me?
No, actually,
He
we
did
honestly,
say thank you.
I honestly didn't hear you.
This is why I don't like
Hey,
talking to
TJ.
Michael anymore.
Yeah.
I guess one last question before you drop. Where's your next booking at so maybe people can look out for you?
Well, you guys can catch me in a singles match with the world champion on Impact this week.
Nice.
So that'll be the very next time I'm in a wrestling ring, and then, you can also find me if you're in Los Angeles, at Pro Wrestling Guerrilla. I wrestle, I believe, this first week. I can't remember the exact date, but, it's this first week. They have a pretty packed schedule this month. They have one at the beginning of the month and two at the end. So I'll be there. And also in the Bay Area for a group called Pro Wrestling Bushido, for anybody that might, be in the business.
I know who they are. They're a great promotion.
So yeah, that's my menu for the next week.
Dang, dude, you're fast. Got some good good promotions booking you this week.
Yeah.
And then TNA. How is it working with Hulk Hogan, by the way?
It's, well, it was kind of a bummer that, I had to be so thoroughly beat up and stand on stage with him, cause it would have been nice to have all my faculties about me. But it's pretty cool to be able to work in the same building as him, just because, he's Hulk Hogan, right? It doesn't really get that much cooler than that, I guess. There's like The Rock, but,
Steve Austin.
Yeah, there's very few people that are as iconic as him, and of all those people, it's like he kind of, he almost still wins the war anyway, like it's Hulk Hogan, so.
Yeah, he put wrestling on the map in the 80s, so.
Yes, there's people 10 years from now who will be wrestling fans that will know exactly who Hulk Hogan is. It's just, it's crazy to think about it, so.
And alright, ladies and gentlemen, pro wrestler, TJ Perkins. Thanks for being on our podcast, man.
Thanks very much, guys. I'll, be sure to spread the word and forward, tweets and everything, so.
Hey, we thank you so much for being on our podcast.
Thank you
So much. From the bottom of our hearts and our stomachs. So, well, maybe I just might be hungry, but anyway, you know what I mean.
I gotcha. Alright, thanks, guys. Alright, see ya.
Peace out, homie.
Oh my gosh, never again.
Okay, I won't. Shut up.
Alright, so I think it's officially time we wrap up this episode.
Because this episode has been too awesome.
Yes, this episode has been beyond the most incredible episode we've had.
Can we wrap up with a duet and leave?
God, if we have to. I think I think you guys should do a One Direction song.
I don't know any One Direction song. I don't listen to them.
I honestly think.
Okay, I think you guys should do, What Makes You Beautiful by One Direction.
No.
That's it. Look, Google it.
Do you like waffle songs? Sing the Do You Like Waffle songs.
Do you send a name?
I just said the name.
Can you say it again?
It's peanut butter.
No, because it's not heartfelt coming from Steven. No, I don't want to hear it.
It would be, that's the point. It's supposed to be a heartfelt song, and coming from Steven, that shit would be hilarious.
Talk about, that's what makes you beautiful.
Yeah,
No.
okay, here's what you two need to Google. Google What Makes You Beautiful by One Direction.
Oh my god.
And do that, and just, it's gonna be so awful, but it's gonna be so funny.
Oh my god.
Steven?
No, sing this.
Steven,
if I can even get this to
doing
copy
it
and paste.
What?
You and Dustin are singing What Makes You Beautiful by One Direction.
And are you
gonna send me the lyrics?
I am right now.
Yeah, Dustin's gonna do it. Don't sing what Jen sent. It would be.
What she sent?
It would be funnier if you did One Direction.
What did she send?
I don't know what she sent. I'm just saying.
He didn't even click the link. He just said don't sing it.
Because it would be. I want to hear the hilarious interpretation of the One Direction.
That's because
song.
you like One Direction.
Anyway, I want to hear the hilarious interpretation.
He didn't even die. He just said. Anyway.
That's because I do like One Direction.
Oh my god! Are you serious?
That's why I want to hear you guys sing this hilarious version of this song.
Alan.
Yes, Jen.
You know, you've been slacking on painting my nails.
Well, that's because we're not in New Orleans yet. I can't paint your nails
Alright.
yet.
You guys, I'm gonna use the restrooms. You guys go say something really quickly, and we'll just.
Well, hurry up, because we're crossing, like, a shit ton of time.
Alright.
What the fuck is this? So stupid. I am not singing this.
Yes, you are.
I am not. This is so retarded.
That's the point, you dumbass!
The song in general is retarded. I'm just gonna feel like a complete retard if I sing it.
Oh, I thought you were talking about the song I recommended. Whoops.
Yeah, the song you recommended.
Oh.
Dang.
Well,
My song was no better.
I just want to hear the hilarious,
I just want to hear him sing about waffles.
I sing about the blue waffle.
Oh, no. Mm-mm. Steven,
Jen,
say my name.
my name.
Say Magenta.
Alright. Let's do it.
Jennifer?
Fuck you.
See you later.
I don't want you to. That's Alan's job.
You're the one who threw the offer on the table.
Alan always throws the offer on the table.
You didn't necessarily throw it on the table. You threw it on the table, on the bed, and on the
I never throw the offer anywhere. Shut up.
This song is so cheesy already.
That's the point.
It's so corny and straightforward.
You know Alan likes cheesy songs. Look,
Let's
think
do
about
it.
who he listens
I was
to.
like, think about who
This is gonna be
recommended
fun.
the song to you and go from there.
Yeah, go with nail polish.
Oh yeah.
Hey, I know one person's
Dude,
gonna like this that you follow, Dustin. That one chick, I forget her name. But just do the damn
Yeah.
song,
Dory Alan.
because it would be
Oh my god. Skype is
Holy-
fucking up.
it would be hilarious.
We just had TJ Perkins on.
I bet you Alan's gonna start singing it.
I know the whole song, so
Alright. Steven, who's
What?
going first?
do I need to break
What?
it down? Who's gonna sing what part?
It's fucking,
Yeah.
Skype is fucking up, dude. I'm having trouble understanding y'all.
Who's singing the first verse?
You?
Alright, then you'll sing the bridge, Harry.
Sure.
And then we'll sing the chorus together.
Yeah, you
In
should.
unison.
Okay, one of you take Liam's part, one of you take Harry's part, and then just do the chorus.
He knows their names.
It says on this
Yeah,
thing.
it says on the thing.
No,
no,
but he already
I
knew
do know
people's
all. I
names.
do know all 5 of their names,
Oh my god.
but
Harry Styles, huh?
I can't believe you know what the last name. What the fuck is wrong with y'all?
I am so confused.
just
Okay.
just
I'm
go.
going.
Dustin's gonna start, then you're gonna go, Steven, and
I'm
then
looking at the lyrics.
Ready?
just stave it up to the chorus, and then we'll end it.
Count me down.
And,
3, 2, 1.
and go.
You're insecure.
Actually, it's a faster part
Yeah,
than
it
that.
actually is fast.
Yeah.
Don't know.
I'm pretty sure it is.
You're turning head when you walk through the door. Don't need makeup to cover up. Oh my god. Being the way that you are is enough.
Where are we at? Oh. Wait, everyone else in the room can see it? Everyone else
How we do it, Steven? Chorus.
The chorus, go.
Baby.
I don't a world like no, but you gotta keep up, damn it! Where were we? I just got lost.
Baby.
The way that you
Alright.
flip.
Like nobody else. The way that you flip your head gets me over. Well, I don't get it.
Please follow the ground. It's very hard to tell. You don't know. Uh-oh.
Oh no, you're beautiful.
Oh, if only you saw what I can see.
I see shit because I'm blind as fuck.
Understand why I want you so desperately.
And I'm looking at you and I can't believe.
You don't know. You don't know. You're beautiful.
I give up.
Okay, that was
So, by
atrociously
the fact-
horrible.
Uh-oh.
But I don't get-
uh-oh. That's what makes you beautiful.
So
Go
the
to-
fact that this girl doesn't think that she's beautiful is what makes her beautiful.
Okay, anyway, let's wrap up this week's show, everybody. So, who's gonna start with?
Now for advertisements.
Oh god, the advertisement is us closing the show, you idiot.
Not an advertisement.
Well, whatever. Advertisement, not advertisement. We're closing the show.
Butter pie,
Yeah,
y'all.
Butter pie, y'all. Go to the Precious and Paula Dean Cooking School.
Because me and Ashton
Fucking
are
Ashton, I
having
hate you.
relationship issues. He chose Paula Dean over me. He said, you gotta live by the pie. That's what he told
What
me.
the fuck? Okay, anyway. Who's gonna start closing?
You gotta live by the pie?
Live by the pie.
Who says shit like that?
I can just picture Ashton saying it too. Gotta live by the pie, y'all. Just like, I can picture that.
He's like, you gotta live and die by the pie. And I was like, I am more important than some butter pie. He was like, no, you're not.
Oh god.
Can we conclude this now, please?
Okay, I'll start with closing
Shout out
it.
from TJ Perkins.
I'll start with closing it. I'm Alan. You can find me on Twitter at AlanSXE. And, okay, who's going now? Go, somebody.
You can follow me at Dominic_Fury, and then one with, I'm not even gonna bother
I was like, don't even bother
Yeah,
with
just
I was gonna
stop.
say one with the mucus, but I don't feel like going through those names again, so never mind.
Jen.
Oh, no, my name is Magenta, but, hi, I'm Jen, and you can follow me on Twitter at JenScreamsLove.
Dustin.
I could have sworn she said pie. You can find me at Jen's.
I'm Dustin. I'm Dustin.
We want to thank again TJ Perkins for taking the time to come on our show this evening.
You were awesome,
And
and
this
thanks
was
for the compliment.
A beyond incredible episode, and we are